Hey guys, how's it going? I'm more or less gonna kind of move away from the day X of 84. It is, however, November 16th. That is important. But so I kind of just had the spontaneous idea, and that I didn't not that the iOS dev vlogs were bad for any reason, and I still fully intend on working on and releasing that game. It's just that my schedule hadn't allowed me to put forth the amount of time into that as I would to kind of stay excited about it, I guess. But I still want to be vlogging quite often, and I kind of had this idea, or this mental thought, that if I hadn't done any work on the game, I shouldn't vlog because I didn't have anything to talk about. But I've kind of been thinking, and I have more to talk about than just the vlogs, so I might kind of start doing that. So it might not be like day 24 of 84, but it's still going to be hopefully daily, or a week daily. And yeah, I'm just going to start talking about a few different topics. So today I wanted to talk about, I got to open up my RSS feeder because, so RSS feeds are kind of, it's hard to say, but a thing of the past for a lot of people, or even if you might not ever have used them. It stands for, I totally don't know, it's escaping me right now. I believe it's really simple syndication. It's something silly like that. I think it's really simple syndication. And syndication being, so a blog will produce content and then it comes to you. It's syndicated. Like, here's their content, here's you. It comes, or I was looking at myself in the reflection of the camera and I don't know which hand was which. Whatever. Beside the point. But I kind of got to thinking that I didn't read a whole ton, and a couple months, or about a month ago, I started reading if not every day, every other day, and just keeping up with various feeds. So I kind of wanted to talk about that and the benefits I've had from that. So the first one I have here is, and I'm looking at my computer, so if I'm not looking directly into the camera, that's why. CNN Politics, which is basically and maybe I'll talk about government and politics on a different day because that is a expansive conversation that I didn't really want to get into right now, but definitely an interesting topic. I will write it down in my notebook. But so when I started taking government class, the teacher basically said, all right, you guys need to be keeping up on current events. They're going to be on the tests. You guys need to be able to discuss them in class, blah, blah, blah. So I just picked up, I was watching Anderson Cooper, he has a podcast, which is basically like his hour-long show in, I think, like 20 to 30 minutes. So it kind of just cuts out some of the stuff and there's no commercials. It's actually super awesome. But I had started watching that, and then I said, it wasn't that interesting. It was kind of long, even though it was only 20 to 30 minutes. I mean, that's every single day. Believe it or not, it can be hard to find time in your schedule for that. So yeah, I started reading CNN Politics, and that kind of, you can go through and it'll, a story will come in and you just can, so with CNN, with different RSS feeds, they'll come in and then it either displays you the whole story or just like a headline with a link to the full story. So I can kind of look at it, and if it's something about Kim Kardashian, I can just read the headline. Kim Kardashian divorces husband. Read more to find out about this scandalous story, or some crap that I honestly do not care about. Or if it's about the NBA, I honestly could not care. If you're arguing over having between like a millionaire and a billionaire, I'm not interested in that argument. Kind of a tangent, but now the next one is CNN Technology, just because I'm often interested in technology. And I had originally been subscribed to all of CNN's stories, which is actually a ton, and they would just get piled up, so I'd have like 500 stories, and I was like, I'm not going to read these. So, and like pretty much everything comes into that. So CNN Business goes into that, CNN Entertainment goes into that, CNN Sports. So I cut it down to just politics and technology because, for obvious reasons, that's what I'm interested in. The next one is Marco.org. That's a guy, Marco Arment. He hosts the Build and Analyze podcast on the 5x5 network. Once again, that's Marco Arment. He designs and develops and updates and is the sole creator of the iOS app Instapaper. It's also a web service. I shouldn't say it's just an app, but that's basically like you can have an article, and I actually do this with RSS feed, so it's interesting he came up, that if it's like a really long story but it looks super interesting and I just don't have time to read it right now, I can send it to Instapaper And then if I'm like sitting down and I have like an hour just to read, I can go in Instant Paper, and even if it's like 2 weeks from now, it'll still be there and I can go ahead and read it, and it'll be something I'm interested in. The next one is SeanInman.com. He's another iOS developer. He had the game The Last Rocket. He's done a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, his name's Sean Inman. Look him up. When he does say something, it's kind of interesting to say. The next one is a libertarian blog, which I just recently subscribed to. I went to a... Okay, this is hilarious, by the way. So I went to a libertarian brunch to get extra credit for my government class, and I thought it was kind of intriguing, so I went ahead and subscribed to their blog just to see what they come out with, and it hasn't been much lately. So this is the pamphlet they gave me. And so you open it up, and it says questions and answers, right? I mean, harmless. But if you... And this is... I'm not even folding this weird. This is exactly how it came. If you open it to just the first page, that's what it says. I don't want to blame it on the old people, but there's just some things that you got to notice when you open up your pamphlet, and that's what it says across the headline. Even though, I mean, a smart person would unwrap it and see what it says. I mean, it's just queers. It's just humorous. I mean, I don't mean to say that they're stupid in any way. It was just a funny mistake on their part. Yeah, that made me laugh really hard. Anyway, so yeah, that's the libertarian blog. And then there's one called WebMonkey. That's one of Wired. Wired, it's a magazine, it's a website, it's all sorts of stuff. But Wired has one called WebMonkey. It's about just internet development and different like browser stuff. Kind of boring if you're not into web development. And then Wired Science, and they just take all sorts of interesting science stories from around the world. And then the last one is White Wine. This is probably one of my favorite, I guess you could call it a social commentary. So people submit different Facebook or Twitter or different social media. So what people say, and if they represent white whining well enough, they'll get posted, type of thing. So, and basically it's just people whining about things that their byline is first world problems. So we always hear about third world problems, and this is first world problems. They're kind of poking fun at the fact that people are whining about things that really are not a huge problem. Like right here, this is actually, so sometimes they're not always just random people on Twitter. Like this one's the Boston Globe. The headline of one of their articles is, I don't know how to pronounce this, Panjiva, floods in Thailand likely to mean higher U.S. prices for shrimp and rice. So it's just funny little things like that. All right, so here's one. This is just something somebody posted on Facebook, and one of their friends saw it and submitted it to White Wine. So this girl says, "Wow, I'm at Cupcake Lane, and I wanted a wild berry pina colada cookies and cream. Tell me how this lady in front of me buys 12, and there's a whole bunch of other flavors to choose from, but she takes all of the ones I want. Wow, unnecessary fat beep." And then the first comment is her saying, "Cannot believe that just bleeping happened." White Wine, definitely should go check it out. White Wine spelled whites, W-H-I-N-E, so playing on the beverage white wine, but it's wine as in whining about something going not your way. Alright, so that's all I had to talk about. Let me know down in the bottom if you read any RSS feeds, or if you read any type of news media, or just if there's any current style media you're keeping up with. I don't know where I'm going with that question. So that's about it. I will talk to you guys later, hopefully tomorrow.